Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Blight back with another unboxing video. And today, for you guys, I'm taking my first step into next gen. Oh, yeah. Now, I've been waiting a long time for this, much like every other regular gamer, for this next generation because unless you've been living under a rock, it's extremely hard to get any next gen consoles, whether they be Xbox or PlayStation. Although I would say the PlayStation 5s are a bit harder to get than the Xbox. But when you live in this part of Europe where I live, even an Xbox is very hard to come by. But where there's a will, there's a way. So tonight, this box has finally arrived at its destination, and hopefully, this will be the start of something brand new and lovely. So, yeah, this is a huge box. I had to carry this because the courier came a few blocks away from where I live, and I had to carry this in my arms because there was no bag or anything. It's pretty hefty. I would say like the Xbox One X was heavy on its own, but this just takes the cake. So if you're a kid, don't try carrying this box. Have your parents go with you. Now, speaking of the box itself, it looks very interesting, as well as the console itself, because Xbox has taken a completely different design choice this generation. So if you take a look at the box, we can see the artwork of the console itself, which is basically like this dark monolith. Kind of reminds me of a PC tower, but it's more stylish and sleek. Honestly, I like both PlayStation and Xbox. I've never been one to choose like one over the other, but this generation, at least design wise, I am leaning more towards the Xbox side of things because this just fits nicely into like a media cabinet or in front of a TV. It looks sort of like a speaker or just like I said, a PC tower. So it's very inconspicuous. It's not like a giant spaceship router like the PlayStation 5. So yeah, up front you have what is the top of the box. It has the green because the green was always like the green and blacks were always the Xbox colors. And you'll see when I open up the console, it has these green markings on the console itself. You would think these light up, but they don't. It's just like painted on, but it's a cool little visual illusion to give you the sense that it's like glowing green or something. So yeah, this console is all about being quiet because it has a massive fan. All of this is basically the exhaust for the fan. So I expect this console to be very quiet, unlike the PlayStation 4 Pro. When it came to the Xbox One X, oh my god, the names are so confusing. I keep thinking I'm gonna say the wrong name. When it came to the Xbox One X, it was a very quiet console. I barely ever heard it unless it was like Gears 5 or some very demanding game that would just, fire up all the graphic resources. But yeah, you can't tell, but I'm actually standing. Usually I'm sitting down for unboxings, but this box is so massive. Take a look, I mean, look at my hand and then look at the box because I have pretty big hands. So yeah. If we take a look at the box, on the back it says Power Your Dreams, and we have our Master Chief, which is basically the mascot of the Xbox. Unfortunately, the new Halo game is not yet available. So by the time I'm recording this, there's very few Xbox exclusive games to look forward to. But there is one in particular that I really want to play, want to get it as soon as possible, and that is The Medium. That game really blew me away with the trailer and the gameplay video. And I read some article that it wouldn't be possible to release the game on previous generation because it has like dual perspective. You see the spirit world and the regular world, and basically it's rendering two different, completely different worlds at the same time. So that was only made possible by the added CPU power and the GPU power behind the next gen consoles. And it's currently, as far as I know, like a PC and Xbox exclusive. So really want to get the Medium when I can. I know it's a new game, but I usually don't buy games when they're brand new. I just wait for a sale or something. And over here we have some stuff like 4K 120 frames per second. Unfortunately, I don't have a TV that supports 120 hertz, but hopefully when they become more available, I'll be able to get one and try this feature out as well. I know Gears 5 and Devil May Cry 5 have a mode that lets you play in 120 frames per second. I'm sorry, trying to catch my breath while standing up. This is the most difficult unboxing I've ever had to do in my life. So yeah, let's take a look at the other side of the box. Nothing too interesting here, just had the sticker and the console, and on the bottom we have a bunch of stuff not really worth looking into. Now, for the main part, the actual unboxing. I really hope that I don't knock over my tripod while doing this. And the sticker is coming off. Love this part. It's very ASMR. Okay, so that was one sticker, and there is one over here as well. At least these come off fairly easily. No need to dig your claws in or use any mail openers. And I think there's some more over here. Yeah, there's two more over here. Okay. Now I have seen some unboxings previously, so this console opens up very interestingly. You'll see. They really outdid themselves with the packaging this time, because you cannot damage this console while transporting. It's basically like transporting medical equipment. Okay, and which side does this open up? I have no idea. Oh my gosh. I would assume it's like this. Is it like this? I'm opening it on the wrong side, aren't I? Yes, I am. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so this is how it opens up. And wow, take a look at that beauty. Power your dreams. Definitely gonna power my dreams from now on. So yeah, love this design, and look at the styrofoam. It reminds me of like those carrying cases for medical equipment, or like guns or something. I know when I watch like those shows where they buy like old storage units, and then they find like guns and stuff, they're usually in this kind of case. And this isn't even styrofoam, this is something very hard, like I don't know, it's literally like the material that you would use to protect fragile, delicate equipment. And here is the console itself. It just slides out. Okay, let's move the box. We'll come back to the box in just a few minutes, but let's take a look at the console. Look at how beautifully it's wrapped up. So yeah, it has its own little... Oh, this just slides off. That's cool. It has its own little shroud. I've never unboxed a console that was so well packaged before. I'm just so blown away by this. So Microsoft, you did an awesome job. Thank you so much. Okay, and here we go, guys. The first look at my brand new console. I'm shaking, like my hands are so sweaty right now. I don't know if you can tell, I actually burned my arm today, so I'm sorry. I know it's gonna look ugly on the video, but I can't help it, so yeah. You should be careful with stoves and scalding hot water, or a combination of both. But you guys will forgive me. I'm sorry for the cringe. Okay, and here we go. Oh my gosh. The Qliphort monolith for all you Yu-Gi-Oh players. You're gonna know what I'm talking about. This is my first impression. I have a console that is actually Qliphort monolith. Yeah, and here we go. And it has like the little green stuff here. It's such a nice visual effect because it looks like it's glowing, but it's not. So here we have the disk drive. Now the Xbox Series X always comes with a disk drive, and the Xbox Series S, which is like the weaker version of this console, or rather I would say a weaker version of the next gen Xbox console, because those two consoles are very different. It doesn't come with it's a digital only and doesn't come with a disc. But like you know, Xbox is big on backwards compatibility, so having a disk drive is really necessary if you want to play all of your older 360 games. For me, it's going to be Final Fantasy 13 and maybe some other ones that I saved up, because I don't really have a lot of Xbox 360 games in physical form, but it's always nice to have the option. I always go for the disc ones. And let's take a look at the back. Here we have our ports and stuff. So this is the expansion port. So basically, if you guys remember the PlayStation 1 era where we had the memory cards, it's sort of like that, but instead of a memory card, it's a giant 1 terabyte SSD. Now, unfortunately, the Xbox only has 1 terabyte. I mean, this Xbox only has 1 terabyte of storage. And let me tell you, that fills up really quickly. That's like maybe 25 to 30 like modern games, and you're gonna fill it up. So it's not too little, but it for a modern gamer, it's not enough. So if you want to expand your storage, you can do so using this slot. But unfortunately, the expansion modules are very expensive at this time because the SSD market is still, I mean, the SSD technology is still expensive, so the market still hasn't picked up on that. But I assume it's going to normalize over the years. Maybe we'll have some third-party SSD expansions. Who knows? But I'm looking forward to it. So for now, I'll just install the games I really want to play, and then guess just uninstall them and put new ones and so on. You know how it's done. I mean, you've been there. So we have two USB slots. We have an Ethernet port, HDMI, and we have the power cable. And here's actually the second exhaust, because if for some reason I watched a video by a very famous YouTuber where he blocked this and measured the heat readings, and the Xbox was still able to cool itself by using this side vent here. So yeah, it's really not prone to overheating, no matter what people tell you. It's a great console. It was built with the cooling solutions in mind. So yeah, let's turn it on the right side. It's so heavy because I'm keeping this on my bed. It's so heavy, it's making an indent in the mattress. That's how heavy it is. Just hoping it doesn't topple over while I grab the box so we can continue with the other stuff. Okay, so, oh my gosh. So we have some booklets here, and it tells us that the controller is still battery powered. Now, I used to really hate this, not gonna lie. I was like, why the hell do we have battery powered controllers in 2019 when I got the Xbox One X? So yeah, but now, after I've gotten like rechargeable batteries, I can tell you it's actually pretty convenient, because the rechargeable batteries that I have, they last so long. I have to change them out maybe only once every 5 or 6 days, and that's with like intensive, let's say 2 to 3 hour game sessions every day. So, and you get a pack of 4 of them when I bought the rechargeable ones. So I always have 2 in waiting to be replaced. So just swap it out and continue playing. So yeah, and the only problem is if you're playing something that can't be paused, like Dark Souls or Monster Hunter, then you're screwed, because you're gonna have to get those batteries really fast if you don't want to die. So yeah, keep that in mind, guys. And so here we have some explanations how to set it up. There's the Xbox app on the smartphone. It's actually a pretty good app. It lets you stream your games onto your phone as long as they're connected to the same network. And it also lets you do some cool stuff like remote download some games, turn on the Xbox, switch games and stuff. I know the Xbox Series X has this thing where you can play multiple games at the same time, and it basically lets you seamlessly swap through them. It's not a feature that I would probably use because I only play one game at a time, but for some people it might be really cool to jump from, I don't know, Gears 5 into like, I don't know, Halo or the Medium. If you get scared too much, you just jump back into some less scary games. So yeah. Over here we don't have, it's the same thing. I think it's like in different languages or something. So yeah. Now I'm having a very hard time getting all of this into frame, but let me try. Okay, so this is where all the controllers and stuff is kept. Now this particular console came to me from Switzerland, so I am really hoping that they don't have some weird cable that I can't plug into my outlet. And at my utter delight, it doesn't. So my country uses these same outlets, so I will be able to plug it in. I mean, even if it didn't, I could just use the one from my Xbox One X, but I plan on selling that one, so it would be pretty bad if I had to go out of my way to get a new power cable. So yeah, that's your power cable. The power supply is entirely internal we've long passed the days of external power bricks. But yeah, so that's it. Then we have the ultra powered HDMI. When it comes to these HDMIs, you should always use the one that you get with the console, because these are not just your run-of-the-mill HDMIs. These are like very high speed. I mean, I'm not an expert on them, but you should use these if you just want to get the real native 4K and the frame rate and the HDR and everything. You can't just use your dollar dollar ones that you get at the supermarket. So stick to the original ones, guys. And here we have our controller. Oh my gosh, it looks so nice. I have big hands, so the Xbox controllers really fit well in my hands, so I've always been a fan of their ergonomics. Now, on first glance, this controller is gorgeous, but it's not very different from the standard Xbox controller, the Xbox One controller that we already had, which is a good thing, because if something isn't broken, you don't fix it, or whatever that saying goes. I butchered the saying. Now, the things that are different is the D-pad. It's a lot more clicky now. It used to be like mushy. So if I were to compare, if you ever had a DS Lite and then a DSi, it's sort of like that. Like the DS Lite had the squishy D-pad, and the DSi had the clicky one. This is the clicky kind. We have our two analog sticks, the A, B, X, Y buttons that I'll never learn the order in my life, because I'm so used to PlayStation. If you tell me to press the X button, I keep hitting A. So that's something I can never get rid of, not even after like having an Xbox for 2 years. And the brand new addition here is that we have a dedicated share button. So you no longer have to hold this and then go press Y to take a screenshot or press X to get a video clip. You can just go ahead and do this with this button, which is something that PlayStation had and I liked, and Xbox was kind of lacking. I would always have to push this button to just save anything, and it was very inconvenient, so I'm glad they added this. Now this controller feels exactly the same as the other one, but it has a more grippy texture to it, so it's really not going to slide off your hands or anything like that. Very nice matte black finish. The triggers, they feel a bit different. Again, they're more clicky. I don't know how else to describe it. You would have to hold the regular Xbox One controller and this one. I was actually debating on getting the Pro controller, but they're a bit too expensive for my taste, and I'm already used to the regular ones, so really no need for that to go out of my way and break my wallet even more. So yeah, let's see what else we have in here. I think there's some manuals. Is there gonna be any like give me free Xbox Game Pass or something like that? Because I do enjoy those. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there are any. I remember when I got my Xbox One X, you would get like 1 month of Xbox Game Pass, which is their premium service, which is very nice. You get like through 200 or 300 games in a library that you can just start playing. And you also got Xbox Live, so you can play online. But there's no such thing here. Maybe in like the later special editions when they do like a Halo edition or a Forza or something. But yeah, so that is it for the console. I am very anxious to plug it in and start playing the next generation of games. And I'm very excited. Wanted to make this video to commemorate this, because it's not every day that a new generation begins for a gamer, especially for a budget gamer like myself. I'll maybe do a review on the console. I'll share you my thoughts, how it compares to the previous generation, what I like about it, what I possibly don't like about it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video and stay around for more content. I'll be doing more game unboxings and maybe some gameplay videos, because this thing is very good at recording like videos, so I could do some streaming as well. So it opens up a lot of possibilities for a newcomer like me, and that makes me happy. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bye bye.